So hi everyone, I'm Jess Markwood. I'm the COO for The Fifth. We are a social creative agency and we specialise in influence marketing and branded content. I'm here today with the wonderful David Whiteley, who is a comedian, creator, presenter, social commentator. I'm not entirely sure there's anything you can't
Sex symbol.
Sex symbol. That should have come first, probably. And we're here today to talk about a campaign that we worked on at Christmas time. That's the hats. Which it was for Slim Chickens. So generally our creative process tends to be quite collaborative with our creators. We have a creative team who work really closely on the brief. They think very carefully about the creators that they have front of mind at the time. And we tend to work in a way that we look at an idea and try to bring it to life through the creators by giving them enough freedom to be able to work on it. So before we get started, I'm going to share a video to showcase the work that we did, and then we'll ask some questions after that.
Slim Chickens believes in living life on your own mother-clucking terms, eating what you want, when you want, and with who you want. But Christmas comes with pressure. It's not so easy to put yourself first. So, using Slim Chicken's classic Southern charm, we called for people to #chicken out. Family double booking?
I would rather eat baked beans in chicken soup than have to go to your parents for Christmas.
Ignore. Office Christmas party?
What's all that noise? Huh? Merry Christmas. Bye.
Cancel. Plans with the in-laws?
Would you like to come Christmas shopping?
I'd love to, but I've stubbed my toe.
You know what to do. With big, bold energy, 3 Talent kicked things off, showing their followers exactly how to spend Christmas. But it didn't stop there. We used Slim Chicken's social channels to make sure followers knew exactly how to chicken out. We also spread the message far and wide with our talent plastered on their very own billboard. With content that left our audience empowered and not to mention hungry, the campaign was a huge success. Receiving overwhelmingly positive feedback and inspiring people to chicken out for the Christmas they really wanted.
Okay, great, thank you. So I'm going to try really, really hard to keep this to 15 minutes. That's all I've been given, and I've got a bet with a fair few people in this audience that I can't actually achieve anything in 15 minutes, so I'm going to do my very best. So David, obviously, from the moment our creators felt that they'd really cracked the chicken out concept with this, they had you really front of mind when they were thinking that through. How do you feel that kind of creative and collaborative process works for you? Like, how do you feel about an agency giving you an idea and then asking you to kind of build on that?
Well, I feel great about it because, first of all, apologies for having to hear the Birmingham accent boom through your eardrums. But yeah, I feel great about it because a lot of times when brands approach you as a content creator, it's with a lot more than an idea. It's with the idea, the words that they want you to say. They'll literally like write out exactly what they want you to say and then say it in your own voice, and it's just like, what does that even mean? So when you come with an idea, like Chicken Out, for example, what I like about it is that it gives me inspiration to then go and then, mold something around that. And it's like, it's somewhat of a bit of a challenge, because I feel like every content creator, they say there's nothing new under the sun. A lot of the content that we create is based on the things that we've experienced, the things that we see, the people that we interact with, and then we kind of just take those experiences, we either enhance them, add hyperbole, exaggerate them, whatever the case may be. So when a brand comes to you with an idea, if you're a content creator worth your salt, if the idea is skeletal enough in how they bring it to you, then you can kind of like add flesh to that, and I find that to be a great process, because at the end of the day it's a collaboration, and sometimes content creators don't understand that. It's like they want to do their own thing completely, but somebody has approached you with an opportunity and an idea. So I like the idea of collaboration, and when somebody comes to me with an idea that is collaborative because they haven't given you everything they want you to say, how they want you to say it, then it's fun for me.
Yeah. And in terms of thinking about your brand of work, I think always hits the mark. Like, I think you always smash it and do a really brilliant job. how do you approach some of those like functional requirements around like the calls to action and like key messages that brands give you versus like making sure that you still keep your like comedic element and like and keep it engaging essentially?
Yeah, I mean, I try to make sure that your call to action is my call to action because I already agree with what I'm promoting.
Yeah.
Oftentimes if you have somebody that doesn't agree or align themselves really inside with what they're promoting, like I like chicken, as much as that's a stereotype, I do. So it's easy for me to promote something about chickening out because number one, the concept of chickening out as in like getting out of going somewhere is something I totally understand. And also the idea of just stuffing your face with chicken is something I also agree with as well. So I think that authenticity is important and that's key when dealing with like key messages and stuff like that. But you have to be able to say something in content creation like it's never said before, like you've never said this before, like it's the first time you're saying it, even if it's something you know you are going to say. Because I come from a stand-up comedy background, that's all I know. If you do stand-up comedy, if you create an hour of material, you are going across the country saying the same thing everywhere. But if you do not know how to say that like you've never said it before, like you are absolutely excited about what you are saying, then the audience they'll pick up on that. And so I find key messages easy to do because I understand that. I understand that a part of what I am being approached for is the authenticity and excitement within my voice when I say something. I don't know how to not say something excitedly, which is why sometimes people think I care about things that I don't. If we start talking about laminate tiling right now, I'll speak about that like I care about it more than my mum, and that's just how I am with things, so yeah.
I need some help actually. We're about to get some laminate tiling for our office, so maybe we can have a chat about that afterwards. Is there a specific way that an agency can or a brand can brief you to get the best out of your work then?
Well, I think the conversation between brands and content creators, influencers, whatever you would want to call them, is very interesting because, you know, a lot of times people like to talk about, you know, business and pleasure not being intermixed or like business isn't personal. But when you are dealing with a lot of content creators, business is personal, and how you approach them with the idea in terms of the language used, in terms of how the conversation goes, is going to affect how they perceive what you're asking them to do. And when it doesn't feel collaborative, it could be collaborative, but when it doesn't feel like that in the conversation, when the conversation feels very formatted, very official, very formal and not informal, like there's just certain like verbiage that you can use to make the conversation, you know, like have fun with it, and you know, like, I mean, we really want to get like your spin on this, your idea, but we want to see where you can take this, rather than just like a rigid sheet of stuff that must be said. And like I've experienced what it feels like when a brand makes you feel like the process is going to be more collaborative, because a lot of content creators, they didn't go to business school, they don't come from a place where they're doing this out of a business mindset, they're doing it out of the love. So when you approach them with a super business mindset, it is going to affect their approach to the content. And it's difficult to create content without a feeling, because it's inspiration, it's creativity. And so if I feel in the process like I'm being rigidly put into a tight corner, I'm going to approach the content with that. And it's going to be like, let me just give them what I want, or give them what they want, collect this bag and go home. And that will be the attitude towards it. So yeah, the conversation is important to make that conversation feel natural and feel collaborative, even though it's business, but yeah, feelings are involved. Yeah.
I often describe content creators as like super consumers, because at the end of the day, you're a representation of your audience. Yeah. So if people approach you in like a non-human way and think of you as a media channel, then it's never going to necessarily work in that way. Okay, so you are one of our creative team's favourite talent to work with, because I know I feel like I'm really going for it here, but you genuinely are. Like, you always get the brief on, we're always really happy to work with you. But what's made it possible for you to do that? Like, you touched on the fact that some influencers haven't been to business school, but like, what's different about you in the way that you approach your brief? Like, do you just have a really great attention to detail? Are you a great listener? Did you go to marketing college? Like, what was it?
Yeah. So when I did business in college, and I did business and media in college, not even uni, just college, and I really felt like I took more from business in order to do my career, to be where I am right now, than I did from the media side of things. Because when I first started doing comedy content, I was doing videos and I very quickly realized that it was not just about how good the content is, it's about marketing. So I feel like when a marketing agency approaches me, I understand where they're coming from, because I understand that marketing and content is two different things, and you can have the best thing in the world, but if enough eyes aren't on it, then it won't be seen. And I had to take a marketing approach to my own content in terms of where I'm going to put it, how I'm going to position it. Even in terms of getting to this point where I am now, some content that I could have done might have been more viral and more funny, but because it was more salacious and put more of a red flag over my name in terms of who I'm going to be able to work with in the future. So because I've been forced to think in those ways, I'm much more willing to be collaborative with others, because collaboration is compromise. But I've had to compromise with myself in understanding that, you know what? It's more than just about whether I've created this piece of thing and I love it. How many demographics does it reach? Where am I putting it? What time am I posting it? And I think the more you do that, the more you kind of understand the business aspect of it, and you can relate more when you're collaborating with other people.
Yeah, fair. I got I've got two quick questions. We talked briefly about the fact that you don't like to be called talent.
I don't like to what, sorry?
Don't like to be called talent.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Like to be referred to as talent. I thought that was really interesting. Do you mind sharing with everyone why?
Yeah,
with that?
This probably seemed like pandering, but the reason why I don't like to be called talent is because I've experienced all parts of the process, and so I know that there's talent in every part of the process. When I first started, I had no creative team. I would have to set up a tripod with a camera, press record, and hope that the autofocus decides to focus on my face and not on a random plant that decides to fly around in the background. And then I would have issues with sound if I didn't buy the right microphone, if it wasn't positioned correctly. And then I would have to edit it myself, and then I would have to market it myself. So now when I show up to a shoot and I see production and they call me talent, I just feel like we're all talented, because I know how important it is when the audio guy is listening and said, no, a plane just went past. Because I've been in that position where I've got takes I can't use. So I just feel like everybody in the process is talented. And you have to be talented to deal with certain talent, because the level of ego and braggadociousness that some people have, to be able to humble yourself in that moment just to get the content through. I can't imagine the conversations that happen afterwards once talent leaves.
Yeah, I'd like to say we're not guilty of that, but let's be honest. Right, last question. Yeah. Genuinely, how much chicken did you have to eat for the shoot?
I ate literally any chicken you saw in that video was devoured. Not only that, we did a chicken lip sync scene. We kissed and combined chicken together. So there's that, and also I've been to Slim Chickens afterwards as well. I've been there since. So yeah, a lot of chicken. Yeah.
A lot of chicken. That's great. Thank you so much, David, for your time. I really appreciate it. We thought we'd celebrate right towards the end with sharing a few Christmas crackers with everyone. So we're just going to throw these out now.
I don't know how to crack this. I'm just warning you in advance.
So I'll save one for us. I'm just going to chuck these out. Sorry if I get these in your eyes.
Can we get a round of applause for the guys while they're giving away Christmas crackers? Awesome.
I'm not sure how far I can throw.
Hey! That's how we want to end things. Yeah. Physical abuse. Oh, thank you so much.
Oh, it didn't work.
Oh no!
All right, guys. Thank you so much.